In 2 earlier lectures, I've already separately considered the definition and meaning of an agreement and the meaning and definition of a contract. So if you have already listened to and understood those lectures, then you would know that not all agreements are considered as contracts in the eyes of the law. So the one element that is lacking in an agreement is enforceability, and the one element that is present in a contract is enforceability. So enforceability is the differentiating criteria between an agreement and a contract, and the absence or presence of enforceability is going to tell you whether or not that particular agreement will be counted as a contract in contract law. However, does that help you answer the question as to when a particular agreement is going to have that badge of enforceability? These definitions merely told you that enforceability is present in one and absent in the other. But in any practical situation, how are you going to be able to decide whether or not that particular agreement is enforceable or not? So the answer to this is very simple. For an agreement to be enforceable in court, the parties themselves must have intended it to be legally binding. This is called the intention to create legal relations. So if this intention to create legal relations is present, then the court is going to consider that particular agreement as a contract, and of course that means that it will be enforceable in a court of law. Now once again, does that really provide a solution? That is, do we still get to know when the intention to create legal relations is going to be present and when it's going to be absent, and who is going to decide whether or not the intent was there? Because obviously the party who is trying to back off from the contract and is trying to escape and avoid the obligations is obviously going to insist that the intention to create legal relations was absent, while the party who is insisting on performance is going to argue that the intent to create legal relations was indeed present. So who is going to decide, and what is the criteria for deciding such an issue? By the way, if you had already foreseen this problem while listening to the earlier lectures on contracts and agreements, then give yourself a pat on the back, because that indicates that you're not just a passive listener but are actively critically reflecting on what you are listening to. Anyway, so without further ado, let's directly discuss the answer. In commercial situations, the courts assume a commercial agreement to be binding, unless of course the parties expressly state otherwise. Whereas in domestic situations, for instance family agreements, are usually presumed not to be legally binding. So for an agreement to be enforceable by law, there should be legal obligation instead of social, moral or religious obligation. And you must be thinking, what's the difference between a legal obligation on the one hand and a social, moral or merely religious obligation on the other hand? So an agreement that creates a legal obligation is said to be enforceable because the parties to that agreement intend to be bound to perform their promises, and in case of default, it is very safe to presume that either of the parties does not intend to take it lightly if the other party breaches the agreement, and therefore they intend to sue in case of breach of contract. Now think about it logically. When are parties usually going to have the intention to sue the other party in case of breach? And the answer is going to be very obvious to you. Let's consider a very simple example. If A invites B to dinner and B accepts the invitation but for some reason or the other fails to turn up, and here A cannot sue B for damages just because he fails to turn up, because the parties to this agreement do not intend to create legal obligations. By which I mean to say that at the time of making the agreement, these parties had no intention of suing the other party in case the other party did not do what was agreed upon. And let's consider another example. So if the same person A offers to sell his furniture to B for a certain amount, then in this situation, if B accepts this offer, then in this agreement, if there is default by either of these parties, then an action for breach of contract will be enforceable in a court of law, obviously provided that all of the other essential elements of a valid contract are present in the agreement. But the point is that as far as this particular requirement, that is an intention to create legal relations, that is legal relationship is indeed present, which indicates legal obligation. So to conclude this lecture, in case of social or domestic agreements, the usual presumption is that the parties do not intend to create a legal relationship, but in commercial or business agreements, the usual presumption is that the parties do intend to create a legal relationship, unless of course the parties have expressly stated otherwise. And one important point that I'd like to add before I end this lecture is that even though family agreements are usually presumed not to be legally binding, specifically those between spouses, however, remember that the case may be different if, for example, the couple have separated or are about to separate. So do watch that other lecture where I talk about this specific exception.